James Loprino. James Loprino dies at 87. Jim Loprino, the reclusive billionaire behind the world's largest mozzarella cheese company, has died. He was 87. Loprino, who was born in Denver in 1937, transformed a small family shop on 38th Avenue and Shoshone Street into a global dairy empire. His company, Loprino Foods, supplies cheese to major pizza chains around the world, including Domino's, Papa John's, and Pizza Hut. The son of an Italian immigrant, Loprino grew up working in his father's grocery store before launching his own business, as the American pizza industry began to boom. Over the decades, he kept a notoriously low profile, rarely giving interviews and allowing few photographs of himself to be published. Despite his low public visibility, Forbes estimated Loprino's net worth in the billions. He is survived by his wife, 2 daughters, 2 granddaughters, and 1 great-granddaughter. Funeral arrangements have not yet been announced. Frank Nicely. Frank Nicely dies at 78. Former State Senator Frank Nicely, a farmer and longtime conservative lawmaker known for his colorful comments on Tennessee's Capitol Hill, died Thursday. He was 78. Jefferson County Sheriff Jeff Coffey confirmed that Nicely was found on a tractor on his family farm in Strawberry Plains on Thursday, and later died at the hospital. Coffey said the cause of death is a suspected heart attack. The Republican was first elected to a state house seat in 1988. He served 2 two-year terms, then was out of the legislature until he won a return to the House in 2004. In 2012, Nicely won a seat in the Senate, where he remained until he lost a Republican primary election in 2024 to now Sen. Jesse Seal. The most recent boundaries of Nicely's district covered Claiborne, Granger, Hancock, Jefferson, Sevier, and Union counties. Nicely spoke, "in a way that makes you laugh, learn, and then Google a few things afterward," as a resolution passed this year described it. Republican Senate Speaker Randy McNally said on social media that Nicely was the, quote, unofficial historian of the Senate and a Tennessee original in every possible sense. Anne Burrell. Anne Burrell dies at 55. She is survived by her husband, Stuart Claxton, whom she wed on October 16, 2021, and his son, Javier, as well as her mother, Marlene, and sister Jane, her children Isabella, Amelia, and Nicholas, and her brother Ben. Anne was a beloved wife, sister, daughter, stepmother, and friend. Her smile lit up every room she entered, her family said in a statement. Anne's light radiated far beyond those she knew, touching millions across the world. Though she is no longer with us, her warmth, spirit, and boundless love remain eternal. A fan favorite on the Food Network, Burrell was best known as the longtime host of Worst Cooks in America, where her passion for food and mentorship turned disastrous kitchen hopefuls into capable cooks. Her infectious enthusiasm, signature laugh, and fierce kitchen skills made her a standout in the world of food television. Born on September 21, 1969, in Cazenovia, New York, Burrell discovered her love for cooking early, inspired by her mother's home-cooked meals and television icon, Julia Child. She studied English and communication at Canisius College in Buffalo before pursuing a culinary career at the prestigious Culinary Institute of America, where she graduated in 1996. James Prime. James Prime dies at 64. The musician from Kilmarnock, Ayrshire, passed away following a short struggle with cancer. Deacon Blue announced James's death on social media this afternoon. The post read, "We announce with great sadness that our brother James Prime passed away this morning after a short struggle with cancer. Thank you so much for the messages of support that you shared over the last 2 weeks. They meant so much to Jim, his family, and us. With love, Deacon Blue." The band were formed in 1985 and comprises Ricky Ross, Lorraine McIntosh, James Prime, Dougie Vipond, Gregor Philp, and Lewis Gordon. They are famed for a string of hits including Dignity, Chocolate Girl, and Loaded. Deacon Blue are set to go on tour later this year for their Great Western Road Trip. The UK-wide tour kicks off in Liverpool on September 19th. Deacon Blue will play Wembley Arena for the first time since 1990 and finish with 2 hometown shows at Glasgow's OVO Hydro on Friday 10 and Saturday October 11th. Guido Tennessee. Guido Tennessee dead at 71. The sports world is mourning the loss of former NHL player Guido Tennessee. He was 71. Tennessee rose to stardom after he portrayed Billy Charlebois in the sports comedy film Slapshot in 1977. American Hockey League franchise the Hershey Bears offered condolences on Thursday. We're saddened to learn of the passing of Guido Tennessee, a member of our roster during the 1974 Calder Cup Championship, and was known to many more for his role as Billy Charlebois in the classic hockey film Slapshot, the Bears wrote in a social media post. Our hearts are with his family, friends, and teammates. A cause of death was not immediately released. The Pittsburgh Penguins drafted Tennessee in the 5th round of the 1973 NHL Amateur Draft. He also spent time competing in multiple professional hockey leagues and had a 2-year stint with the Penguins minor league affiliate in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Wilkes-Barre/Scranton Penguins are the Penguins' current affiliate, while the Bears serve as the primary development team for the Washington Capitals. Kevin Yarbrough. Kevin Yarbrough passes away at 72. Kevin Yarbrough, one half of the R&B duo Yarbrough and Peoples, has passed away. He was 72. According to Soul Tracks, Yarbrough passed away due to complications from heart disease, as confirmed by his wife and music partner Elisa Peoples in a news release. Kevin was not only an extraordinary talent but a kind man with a great heart. His legacy will live on in the music, in our memories, and in the hearts of everyone who knew him. Michelle Elizabeth, a longtime friend and representative of Kevin and Elisa, said in a statement, "Kevin Yarbrough was more than a gifted vocalist and musician. He was a producer and pioneer whose artistry helped shape the sound of 1980s R&B and funk," the statement read. Alongside Elisa, Kevin co-founded Yarbrough and Peoples, the duo that quickly rose to fame with their 1981 #1 Billboard R&B hit, "Don't Stop the Music." The single, which went gold and earned them a Grammy nomination in 1982, remains a beloved staple in dance and funk music history. Born in Dallas, Texas, Yarbrough met Peoples as children while they were taking piano lessons and remained friends. Lou Christie. Lou Christie dies at 82. Lou Christie, the pop singer who indeed had lightning strike in a big way with his lightning strike smash in the 1960s, died Wednesday at 82, his family announced on social media. No date or cause of death was given. Christie had 3 top 10 singles in the US across a period of 6 years in the 60s, the biggest being Lightning Strikes, which was released in 1965 and hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in February 1966. Written by Christie with Twyla Herbert, the MGM label single was famous for a soaring hook with a nearly Frankie Valli-level falsetto. That career peak was preceded in 1963 with Two Faces Have I, which reached #6. Also written by Christie and Herbert, the song was not often covered, yet Bruce Springsteen acknowledged it as an inspiration for his song Two Faces almost a quarter century later. Christie closed out his run in the top 10 in 1969 with I'm Gonna Make You Mine, which made it to #10 in the US, while doing better in the UK, peaking at #2 there. Mark Peploe. Mark Peploe dies aged 82. Mark Peploe, the Oscar-winning screenwriter who collaborated with some of the greatest names in European filmmaking, including Michelangelo Antonioni and Bernardo Bertolucci, has died aged 82. Peploe's family told The Guardian he died in Florence, Italy, after a long illness. Peploe's prominence centered on the screenplays he wrote for some of the great European directors of the era, notably Italian New Wave auteurs Antonioni and Bertolucci. Despite its checkered release history, the 1975 film The Passenger, directed by Antonioni and starring Jack Nicholson, has since been acclaimed as one of the decade's cinematic masterpieces, and Peploe went on to forge a regular partnership with Bertolucci, winning an Oscar in 1988 for Best Adapted Screenplay for The Last Emperor. Jeremy Thomas, producer of The Last Emperor, told The Guardian, "Mark was a Renaissance man, a brilliant writer of screenplays and also an artist. He had a particular gift of a cultivation of the past which informed him as a writer. Mark was never without a notebook and a copy of the International Herald Tribune. He was a very impressive person." Sam the Wheels. Sam the Wheels dies at 98. Clovis Salmon, regarded as the first black documentary filmmaker in the UK, has died at the age of 98. His family said he died at King's College Hospital in Camberwell on Wednesday morning. Salmon was best known for filming the Brixton riots in 1981. often using a concealed camera to avoid getting it confiscated by police officers. He captured scenes of overturned cars, smoldering buildings, and growing anger at police tactics. Asked to explain the riots, one of his interviewees said, "Jobs, money, National Front, and all the rest, we just had enough, so we just explode." In an interview for The Guardian in 2021, Salmon said he filmed everything he saw during the riots. "For 3 days, I went up and down different places, everywhere I heard that they were fighting, riding my bike, and I always take my camera with me." Salmon came to Brixton from Jamaica in 1954 as part of the Windrush generation and has left behind an archive with hundreds of hours of footage covering many aspects of community life in South London. Charles Burrell. Charles Burrell died aged 104. Who was the first African-American musician to receive a contract with a major American orchestra, has passed away at the age of 104. Born in Toledo, Ohio in 1920, Burrell grew up in Detroit and began learning both the double bass and tuba at the age of 12. He went on to Wayne University, where racism was rife. In 2019, Burrell described an incident towards the end of his studies where a senior member of staff took him aside and praised his musical ability, but then told him, "I'm 40 years old, and as long as I'm here, there'll be no Negroes in the music department in any of the public schools." After serving in the military during the Second World War, Burrell was refused auditions at 4 different symphony orchestras because of racism, and in 1949, he became the first black player in a major American orchestra when he was appointed to the Denver Symphony. Burrell spent a decade there before he was appointed to the San Francisco Symphony, where he became that orchestra's first ever black player. Gaylord Sartain. Gaylord Sartain dies at 81. Gaylord Sartain, the very funny character actor who spent some 20 years on Hee Haw, appeared in 3 earnest films with Jim Varney and displayed a flair for the dramatic in The Buddy Holly Story and Mississippi Burning, has died. He was 81. Sartain died Thursday of natural causes at his home in his native Tulsa, Oklahoma. His wife of 36 years, Mary Jo Sartain, told The Hollywood Reporter. "Actually, he died of silliness," she said. Sartain showed up in 9 features directed by Alan Rudolph. Rhodey, 1980. Endangered Species, 1982. Choose Me, 1984. Songwriter, 1984. Trouble in Mind, 1985. Made in Heaven, 1987. The Moderns, 1988. Love at Large, 1990. And Equinox, 1992. He appeared for Carl Reiner in The Jerk, 1979, and All of Me, 1984, for Francis Ford Coppola in The Outsiders, 1983, for Stephen Frears in The Grifters, 1990, for John Avnet in Fried Green Tomatoes, 1991, and for Michael Mann in Ally, 2001. In 1972, Sartain joined the cast of the syndicated country variety show Hee Haw. Scott. Scott dies at 52. Dave Scott, an American dance teacher and choreographer who worked on Step Up 2, Step Up 3, and So You Think You Can Dance, died on Monday. He was 52. Scott's death was confirmed via an Instagram post on his personal account. The cause of death was not disclosed. "Today we have lost an icon, a legend, a father and a dear friend," reads the post's caption. "The weight of this loss will send ripples through time, but his memory and legacy will continue to live on." We love you, Dave Scott, and everything you've accomplished and the joy and comfort you've brought to people will never be forgotten. The post itself, which included videos of Scott throughout his career, read, "It is with heavy hearts that we share the passing of our beloved Dave Scott, who touched so many lives with his warmth, kindness, and spirit. During this difficult time, we are doing our best to honor his memory in the way he deserves with love, dignity, and respect." Scott's other credits across TV and film include Good Burger, Coach Carter, Bones, Accepted, Stomp the Yard, and Prom Night. Ron Taylor. Ron Taylor dies at age 87. Former Major League Baseball pitcher Dr. Ron Taylor of Toronto, Ontario, has passed away at the age of 87, according to the Canadian press on Monday. Taylor played 11 Major League seasons. He was with the Cleveland Guardians in 1962, the St. Louis Cardinals from 1963 to 1965, the Houston Astros in 1966 and 1967, the New York Mets from 1967 to 1971, and the San Diego Padres in 1972. Taylor won a World Series with the Cardinals in 1964, one save, and a World Series with the Mets in 1969, one win in the National League Championship Series, and one save in the 1969 World Series. Taylor pitched in 491 games and had a record of 45 wins and 43 losses with an earned run average .393. During 800 innings pitched, he threw 3 complete games, had 74 saves, and gave up 794 hits, 349 earned runs, 76 home runs, and 209 walks. Taylor also had 464 strikeouts and a WHIP, walks and hits per innings pitched, of 1.25. After his MLB playing career, Taylor became a medical doctor and was the doctor for the Toronto Blue Jays for 3 decades. He was inducted into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985. Kim Woodburn. Kim Woodburn dies aged 83. TV star Kim Woodburn, who rose to fame presenting How Clean Is Your House, has died at the age of 83 after a short illness, her manager said. A statement said, "It is with immense sadness that we let you know our beloved Kim Woodburn passed away yesterday following a short illness. Kim was an incredibly kind, caring, charismatic, and strong person. Her husband, Peter, is heartbroken at the loss of his soulmate. We are so proud of the amazing things Kim achieved in her life and career. We kindly ask that Kim's husband and close friends are given the time and privacy they need to grieve. We will not be releasing any further details." Woodburn was selected as one of the hosts of Channel 4's 2003 housework-based reality show, How Clean Is Your House? While working as a professional cleaner, it was a career she had begun aged 16 as a live-in cleaner for a laundrette-owning family that saw her earn £2.10 a week, a role she described to The Guardian as, "I was just a piece of flesh." Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks has always felt like more than just a movie star. He's been a constant, steady, warm, familiar. His voice brought comfort as Woody in Toy Story. His eyes held the soul of Forrest Gump. His strength anchored Saving Private Ryan. In every role, he offered us a glimpse of the best parts of humanity: kindness, humility, courage, and love. But now, beyond the glow of the screen and the applause of fans, a far more personal truth has emerged. Tom Hanks's health is very poor, and the risk to his well-being may be growing. For decades, Tom has been the heart of Hollywood. Not for his fame, but for his goodness. A man who made the world laugh, cry, and believe in something better. To imagine him struggling, slowing, facing the weight of illness, it's heartbreaking. His smile still appears, but there's a deeper fatigue in his eyes. The energy that once seemed endless now comes in careful, fleeting moments. And yet, even in this fragile time, Tom continues to show what true strength looks like. It's in his quiet grace, in the way he leans on his loved ones, in how he still offers comfort, even as he faces his own pain. That's who he's always been, not just a character in our favorite films, but a real man with a generous heart. To so many, he feels like family. He's been there through the years, in living rooms and movie theaters, narrating our childhoods, speaking to our hearts. Now, as he walks this difficult path, we surround him with the same love and compassion he's given us. Tom, thank you for your honesty, your humanity, your unforgettable light. You've given everything to your craft and to your audience. And now, we give you our deepest prayers, our strongest hopes, and our unwavering love. You are not alone. Not now. Not ever.